Good morning. Happy Monday, American Crochet Association. Selena Baca here, founder, host, lead educator with the ACA here, mingling with you on this Monday. If you guys are watching live, come on over, say hey, say hello. Go ahead and post any questions you might have about the American Crochet Association or anything that I'm sharing with you guys today. As soon as I get through my rundown list, we'll make it a fun conversation, I promise. Okay? I do want to say that last week I hosted a little giveaway for anyone who left a comment. I went back this morning just before I went live on this chat and I know I said I would pick 4 winners, but I wound up picking 5. I just couldn't help it, okay? So I have replied to all of the winning comments in last week's Mingle Monday video, but I also have the names for you right here. They are Katia Abdullah, Ruby Lambert, Kendall May Tabor, Jennifer Peters, and Chris Lopez. So each one of you guys should have a comment with instructions to claim your Artisan Afghan Crochet Challenge. Man, that's a mouthful. That's why I had to write it down. So make sure you claim that. You do have 5 days to claim that. And thanks to everyone who left a comment last week. As a matter of fact, that was so much fun that I want to extend a giveaway this week as well. Everyone who leaves a comment, whether you're here live or on the replay, that is your entry to win. And the prize this week is a PDF version of all of the crochet patterns that I'm going to be telling you guys about today. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. So if you guys want to win a bright, shiny new PDF version of all of the crochet patterns I'm talking about this week, all you guys have to do is leave a comment. Any comment counts, whether you're here live or on the replay. I'm going to randomly choose 4 of you. I might choose more, maybe, I don't know. This time next week before the next Mingle Monday video. So whether you're watching live or on the replay, you've got an equal opportunity to win. Whoo! All right, guys. So the first thing that I wanted to chat about this week has to do with, and again, sorry, if I didn't say this yet, links to everything that I'm talking about, including the Artisan Afghan Crochet Challenge, they're all going to be down in the video description. So after you watch the live, you guys can follow along with all those links and get everything that I'm chatting about here today. All right, guys, so next up on my list is for the American Crochet Association, and this specifically is for our crochet members. So what I'd like you to do, crochet members, is log into your crochet membership. Again, links are down below. As soon as you join or log in, you're going to see all of your resources, and then you're going to see the January Stitch Challenge and giveaway, because that's what we're doing this month. So every week I gave you guys a brand new challenge of some kind, something simple, easy, and fun to try. You get a new free pattern, and there's some kind of giveaway for participating. So make sure that you're logging in if you haven't logged in yet this month, or if you've missed any of the weeks. They're all still up and available for the rest of the month, so you haven't missed out on anything. You guys can still participate. I just launched the week 4 giveaway yesterday. And again, we have 4 winners. 4 winners. So I just wanted everybody to be a winner. So 4 winners this week. So there is another stitch challenge. This stitch is the single cluster stitch. This is what it looks like. There you guys go. This is a new free pattern that I'm going to be telling you guys about in just a minute. Again, links for that in just a minute. Everyone in the crochet membership does get a PDF version of this for free. There are instructions to claim that. And if you work up this stitch and you post your project, crochet members, that is your opportunity to win. As you can see, we already have a couple entries. So there have been 4 entries so far. So I'm super excited about that. So far, there are already 4 entries. So if no one else enters, those are our winners right there. Hopefully more of you guys enter. And the prize this week is, again, 4 winners. They will receive any one course, workshop, or training in the American Crochet Association School. And there are lots of them. For example, we've got the Crochet Instructor Training Program. We've got the Skill Building Workshop. We've got the Stitch Challenge. We've got My Crochet Career. And we've got a Pattern Writing Training course. So any any course, winner's choice. So definitely make sure that you log in because again, there are 4 weeks of giveaways and free patterns and challenges. Oh my goodness. I'll call you later. So there are 4 weeks of challenges and goodies. So definitely log in before the end of the month to get in on that. Okay. All right, guys, next up, I did want to mention, I mentioned this a couple weeks ago, but I did want to tell you guys, if you are in the Crochet Membership, if you totally dig it, you love it, maybe you're already telling people about it, maybe you haven't yet, we do have an incentive program for you, okay? So whenever you log into your Crochet Membership, under your resource section, just click on New, Refer a Friend, and if you want to earn 10%, and if you want your friends who joined to earn 10%, we've got that brand new program that you can check out. If you have any questions about this, just send me an email or leave me a comment right here. And as soon as I see it, I will get right back to it. Okay? All right, so that's everything new, hip, and happening in the Crochet Membership section of the ACA. I hope you guys really dig it. I hope it's fun and new and interesting. And now I've got tons of patterns to share with you guys, tons. Who here is excited to see some patterns? You guys want to make some noise? Do you want to guess what some of these patterns are? They've been on our site for a little while. Some of them are new. Some of them have just been revamped from the Selena Baca Crochet brand, but they are all free to view on our site. So let's start with the first one that I was just telling you guys about. Again, links for all of these are found in the video description so that you guys can click on over and view a free version anytime that you want. First one is the single cluster washcloth. Now, I came up with this washcloth stitch, about 5 or 6 years ago because I love learning new stitches. Because once I learn a stitch, then I can kind of decide what kind of things to do with it. So that's why we have so many different stitch patterns and then small things like washcloths that you guys can make with the stitch pattern. Because again, I want to deconstruct the stitch in a way that you can not only learn it, you can kind of play around with it, see if you like it, really get familiar with it. Yeah, you can make a little swatch, a little washcloth, so it's something that you can walk away with that's functional or give as a gift. But it also really preps you to get a good understanding for the stitch to see what else you can do with it. For example, I played around with this stitch and came up with this stitch pattern because I really wanted to see what else it had the potential of being, and I wound up making a blanket wrap because I loved this stitch so much. Now, the potential does not end there. This stitch is fantastic for things worked in rows, worked in the round, and again, this is a great little test project for you to really kind of get started with that. So the instructions are free to view on our site. We even post information on the stitch repeat. So if you wanted to resize this in any way after you make the washcloth to transform it into something else, maybe you want to make a pillow or a sweater or a blanket wrap or a rug or whatever it is that you want to make, you've got all the information to be able to do that. There are 20 different projects posted for this so far. So within just a few clicks, you guys can see this particular stitch pattern worked up in different colors and solids and different yarns, you know, all that kind of stuff. My internet is slow today, so we will save that for another time. I'll let you kind of peruse around on your own time. But anyway, definitely check out this new stitch pattern that I just posted. Make a washcloth. And if you want to transform it into something else, I would love to see that as well. So definitely keep us posted in our free Facebook community because you guys can share all of your crochet projects, including things like this. All right, so next pattern that I want to share with you guys, it's another stitch pattern. Another stitch pattern that I absolutely adore. I'm calling it the Simple Shell Washcloth because, again, you're learning a stitch, you're making a washcloth, so everything that I just said about the single cluster stitch applies here. Learn the stitch, make a swatch with, or make a washcloth with it, but then again, you can transform it into other things. So this particular stitch pattern, again, it's simple shells, but it's alternating rows of shells and then solid stitches. And that way you get these nice little peaks of open crochet work. And then you have these solid rows of crochet work. So it's really this very pretty balance, I think, of something so simplistic, but even different yarn colors can really kind of elevate the look of this. I love this stitch pattern. I've been working with this particular stitch pattern for, gosh, probably like 8 years. And again, this is a stitch pattern that I had fun with. And I said, okay, let's start with a washcloth. Let me kind of get familiar with it. I've made tote bags with this stitch pattern. I've made blankets. I've made baby hats. I've made scarves. I've made cowls. So again, it's a really simplistic stitch pattern. I give you all of the stitch repeat details. And that way, once you get familiar with the stitch, if you want to transform it into something else, you're more than welcome to. You guys can view the instructions for free on our site, but if you want to own a PDF version forever and always, it's just a couple bucks on my Ravelry site. So you guys can snag that and download that for your own personal use. That's true for this pattern and any pattern that we have posted on our site. There are 19 projects so far with this. We had tons of pattern testers. That was so much fun to have this pattern tested in our community group last week. So thanks again to all of the pattern testers who worked tirelessly, not only on the Simple Shells washcloth, but also the single cluster washcloth. That's how we got so many different projects. And it was just a really fun community experience, learning experience. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. And again, from the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate all of the pattern testers who worked on this. This is not the last of our pattern testing opportunities. It's something new that I just started doing within our community group. So if you're not already part of our Facebook community group, definitely come on over and join. Because when you look in I'll share that afterwards. We'll do that later. Because when you're in the community group, that's where I call for pattern testing. So I've already had people reach out to me in email and private message, things like that, but that's not where the pattern testing happens. So to keep things clean and neat and organized, definitely join our Facebook group and just look in the featured section. I'll share that with you at the end because that's where I post pattern testing and they are open to anyone who would like to participate. Whew, that was a mouthful. All right, guys. So next pattern 3 of 4 that I'm going to share with you guys today. This is an oldie, but something that I just revamped. I updated the format. I added a chart. Gosh, I should have, you know what? Hold on. Let me backtrack. That's the thing about live is we backtrack a lot. That's something that I failed to mention with these patterns. So the single cluster washcloth and the simple shells washcloth. Say that 5. I've also made diagrams or charts with them as well. So not only are there written instructions, but there are charts that you can follow along. Again, same thing with the simple shells washcloth. And that way, maybe you're learning how to read charts, maybe just understand charts better. That should help you with these stitch patterns. So the same thing is true for the granny stitch scarf. This is something that I wrote for a magazine, gosh, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago. If you guys know anything about me, you know that I love the granny stitch. It's one of my favorite stitches. It's super classic. It's one of the first things that I learned to make. So I use the granny stitch quite a lot. And this scarf wrap, whatever you'd like to use it for, this triangle scarf, I did use the granny stitch to make this. So again, I wrote it for a magazine a couple years ago, but I've just revamped it so that way the instructions are maybe easier to read, maybe a little more universal. It does include, I have to scroll a lot. Where is it? There it is. It does include a chart. I'm starting to include charts in a lot of things because I think they're great tools. So it does have a stitch chart. It does have the written instructions. And this is absolutely something that you can make larger or smaller. You can use different weights of yarn. And you can just kind of, have a lot of fun, with what the dimensions are going to be, with what yarn you're going to choose, with what colors you choose. It's definitely something that you can just kind of keep working until you go, yep, that's how big I want it. So it's a really fun project in that aspect. There are 16 projects posted so far. So if you're looking for some inspiration, what yarns people used, what colors they worked up in, all that information is going to be when you click on the link in the video description. All right, guys, so I've got one more pattern to show you. Last but not least, this is actually the pattern that I'm most excited to share with you. It's something that I wrote, again, for a magazine a couple years ago. I reformatted it. I changed a few things. And oh my gosh, I'm so excited about it. Here it is. It is the frosted tote bag. Again, this is a pattern I wrote for a magazine years ago. It is, gosh, one of my favorite tote bags ever. I say that about almost all my tote bags. I'm a tote bag junkie. I absolutely love them. But this utilizes the bobble stitch. So it is worked in joined rounds. It's worked from the bottom up. It does utilize the bobble stitch. And then what I love about this too is that it has these kind of panels on the side. You know, some bags, they just kind of, they work in joined rounds. They stop at a certain point. And so it's just, you know, it's all kind of the same to a certain point, and then handles are added. But I really like that, you know, I increased up to a certain point, and then there's these decreasing panels that are added on either side. And I think that it gives this completely different look. It still functions the same, but it's, you know, there's a little difference there. And I like the way the handles look with this particular kind of panel styling as well. You can change color or not. I did because I thought it was fun. And there are, there are 27 projects listed for this so far. So if you want to see different yarn colors, things like that, you can absolutely do that when you check out those projects. This bag comes in 2 different sizes. So there's kind of a smaller size. It's 22 inches in circumference, 13 inches tall, not including handles. And then there's 26 inches around by 15 inches tall. So, you know, it's only a couple inches, but those couple inches make a huge difference. So it comes in 2 different styles. Again, it does utilize the bobble, super fun stitch. So you've got that peekaboo kind of mesh going all the way through. And here I wanted to show you guys this is the first version that I made for a magazine, gosh, 4, 5, 6 years ago. So really you can have a lot of fun kind of color blocking this if you'd like to. Whew. But that's it, guys. No articles for you this week just because I had so many patterns to share and I didn't want any of them to get lost. I don't like to just dump information and things on you guys. These are some patterns that I've been working on over the last couple weeks, and I didn't want to overwhelm with, you know, with all the things. So that's why I'm just pausing this week and just sharing with you guys the frosted tote bag, the granny stitch scarf, the simple shells washcloth, and the single cluster washcloth. All right, so I've got all those patterns. Again, all the links are down below. Make sure that you add those to Pinterest. Make sure you pin them for later. You can snag the PDF patterns if you'd like to just kind of keep them forever and not rely on a blog or have to kind of go back to a blog for articles all the time. So however you enjoy patterns, there should be an opportunity for you. All right, guys, last but not least on my agenda for you guys this week is all about the American Crochet Association group on Facebook. That is our free community. It is a free online community for anyone to come on over and join. And I did want to tell you, remember guys, I didn't post any articles this past week. So I'm gearing up to revamp some articles to post this week. And I'd love to hear what you guys are interested in. So this poll is actually going to be posted tomorrow and it is going to be pinned to the featured. I'll share that with you in just a second. So the topics for tomorrow, I would love to hear which ones you're most interested in. So you can just vote in the poll. And the options are tips to crochet like an expert, 3 good reasons to crochet a swatch, crochet starter kit, and that's for absolute beginners. What is colorwork crochet? That is something I've been working on for a little while that I have not published yet. I'm really excited about it. It's not only an article, but it is a huge cheat sheet. I think it's like 20 different pages. It's huge. Intarsia, tapestry, and Fair Isle are the 3 types of colorwork that this will go over. And then last but not least, tips to photograph your crochet. That's whether you're professional or not. If you just want some tips to do that so that you can really highlight your crochet work in a way that you can share with the world, then we've got some tips for you. All right, guys. So again, the Facebook group, it is free for anyone to join. I'm looking for my desktop right now, so that's why it looks like this. But as soon as you join our Facebook group, something that I would like for you guys to click on is the featured area. You should see it right at the top. It used to be called announcements. Now it's called featured. So what I pin every single week is the new Member Monday post. It gives you all the details about everything that we're doing, including videos like this Mingle Monday. any kind of pattern testing opportunities. I had a great testimonial from Pam. She's been a member for a really long time, and it just warmed my heart so much, so I pinned that so everyone could read it. Thank you, Pam, for posting that. I always have polls and questions. So for example, what patterns would you like to see next? What articles do you want to see? What do you want to learn? What do you want to share? All that is there. And also, did you guys get a postcard from me yet? If you joined the American Crochet Association and you updated your account with an address, I typically send postcards. So make sure as soon as you get those, you let us know in the community because I'd love to see them. Woo! All right, guys, that's everything happening. That's everything new, hip, and happening at the American Crochet Association this week. For everyone joining now, I just wanted to remind everyone that if you leave a comment, it counts as an entry for a giveaway. And the giveaway this week is you get a new PDF pattern. I will send it to you for the frosted tote bag, granny stitch scarf, simple shells washcloth, and single cluster washcloth. All the patterns that I talked about this week. 4 winners. Whether you're here live or on the replay, you get an equal opportunity to win. I will pick all the winners before the next Mingle Monday live video next week. Woo! Okay, all right. Shout outs to everybody here, and let's see if there's any questions on the floor. Dana from Dana's Wonderlust Crochet. I did not mean to yell at you. I was just really excited to see you, Dana. It is so good to see you. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Jennifer Peters is here. Hello to you, Jennifer Peters. So good to see you. Hello, Ruby. Good to see you as well. Anita is here. Thank you for checking in. Dana says, I love the artisan Afghan. Dana, I'd love to see your progress. You were posting progress of that Afghan, and I loved the yarn you chose. I loved your stitch work. It was beautiful. So keep us posted in the community because I not only want to see your progress, but I can't wait to see your finished blanket. So definitely keep us posted. Oh, Ruby says, thank you so much. Can't wait to try this. Anita says, can't believe I actually caught a live. You did, my friend. You are here and you get the shout outs. So thank you for joining us. Monica Mercado is here. One of my favorite pattern testers of all time. Monica, thank you for being here. It's always so good to see you. Anita says, going to definitely try all the stitches. It's fun to try all the stitches. It's fun to try stitches. It's fun to learn new things. I do it all the time. It's one of my favorite things to do whenever I'm just kind of, you know, what do I want to do? What do I want to work on? If I'm in between or if I got a new yarn, there's so many different reasons I like to just kind of pick up my hook and just kind of work on something. Dana, I'm glad that you're here live too. It's always so good to see you. All right, Jennifer says, oh my goodness, Selena, you are so generous. I'm super excited about all these giveaways. I truly love being an ACA member. Well, it's good to have you here, and I'm glad that you're enjoying the membership. That's what it's all about. Jennifer says, I have a fun story about my member postcard. Actually, I'll share it in Facebook. I can't wait to see, lady. So keep us posted. Now I'm intrigued. I'm going to be refreshing my screen all day. So make sure you post that, all right? Don't keep us hanging. All right, everybody. Thank you guys so much for being part of the American Crochet Association. It is a joy and a privilege and a pleasure to be here. And all of your just questions, comments, feedback, all of that just helps places like this feel like a community. So keep it coming. All right. Peace, love, crochet, everyone. Thank you for being here. And I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.